Hi guys, so as you can tell by the title, in this video I'm just going to be sharing the time of my first bad Uber experience, sort of. So how it started was I was invited to one of my friend girls' birthday party. She wasn't really having a party, she was just getting a little bit of friends together to go out. So, I was like, cool. So we were making the plans in advance, and when the time came, I went to her house. We're talking, catching up, because I haven't seen her in a while. Talking, catching up. I told her I had to go do my makeup. I went and did my makeup, everything like that. So as we were waiting for the Uber to get here, I'm sorry. So as we were waiting for the Uber to get here, we were still talking or whatever. We were waiting for the other girl to get here. And when she came, I had recognized her too, because she used to go to my old high school. So I had recognized her when she had came, but before she had came, she was like, oh, I'm on my way. They couldn't find the house, and it was taking a little longer, but the Uber still wasn't there, so we still had some time. So I was just chilling. So by the time she did get there, we were all talking, waiting for the Uber to get there. So now, the first Uber, it was a good guy. He came to the house, everything. He dropped us off at the club, the teen club. I'm not 21 yet. I'm only 19, so I can't go to a grown people club. And I'm not sure how old the other two girls were, but I'm only 19. So I can only do so much. So, the first Uber driver guy drops us off at the club. It was a good, smooth Uber experience. I was like, cool. We get there, the line was long, but it went by quick. So we were in the line. We got all the way up inside of the club. The girls were like, okay, hi, it's gonna be $50 per person for the ticket to get in. And we were all like, what? Like, I didn't have $50. I only had about 20 to eat and do all that. I did not have $50 on me. So I was like, so we all was just like, no. So we left. So the birthday girl, had to call another Uber to take us to where else we need to go. We ended up waiting for that Uber for 20 minutes, I would say. We were sitting outside, kind of cold, people walking back and forth, and a bouncer from another club was waiting outside with us, which was nice. We were sitting there waiting, and the other girl that was there, she said she saw the Uber, so she starts running to the car. And we're like, so we start running too. I'm like, oh my gosh. And she said, I saw the Uber. I saw it pass right by us. I didn't see anything. The other girl didn't see anything. So I was like, okay. So we waited 20 minutes outside for Uber that passed right by us. So she calls another Uber. We end up waiting another 20 minutes for that Uber. I'm just like, all right. So we get in the second Uber she calls. So we end up waiting outside probably, for half an hour, probably half an hour, and it was cold, mind you. So I was just like, wow, this is crazy. So we get in the second Uber. The lady is super cool, super chill. She knows it was cold. We told her we were waiting out there for a while, so she turns on the heat. We're talking. She tells us about, she's a lesbian, all that. She wasn't lesbian before, but she found her love was a girl. I mean, I don't have a problem with people telling me their life. I know some people find it weird, but I don't have a problem with it. If people just find it comfortable to share their life with me, I have no problem with it. I will listen, So I was just listening. I was like, cool, this is amazing, And so we're talking to the lady. She was cool, and she drops us off at the Midnight Diner. So we get to the Midnight Diner, cool. And mind you, before she dropped us off, we all saved her number in our phone, so we can call her back to pick us up. So, I don't know if it works that way or not. I don't know, but I'll just tell you what happens after. So, we go in the midnight diner, we eat in the warmth, having a good time, and we're like, okay, ready to go. So, they're like, okay, Deja, call the lady so she can come pick us up. So I'm like, okay, I'll call her. So I called her. She answered the phone. I'm like, hi, we're ready to go. Can you come pick us up at the same spot you dropped us off at? She's like, oh, okay. I'm like, oh, okay. She said, be there in a little bit. I'm like, okay, cool. So mind you, also, it was really packed in the midnight diner for some reason. And I think it was the manager of this the place at the time. When she wanted people as soon as they finished eating to get up and leave so it can make room for the other people that was waiting in line. And we were finished eating. We were waiting at that table for like 15 minutes for the lady to get there. And I was like, guys, she's gonna get mad at us. The other girl was like, I don't care if she gets mad at us. Fuck her. I don't give a fuck. I'm just like, wow, okay. So I'm just like, we're just sitting there waiting, you know. They're like, Deja, call her back. You know, she's still not here. So I'm like, I called her back. She didn't answer the phone. I hate when people do that. I'm just like, okay. No, I didn't want to worry. I said, she's probably driving, you know. So we wait another 5 minutes. I'm like, I'm gonna call her back. Called her back, didn't answer. I called her back 3 times back to back, didn't answer. I'm like, now I'm freaking out. I'm like, okay. I'm like, y'all, maybe she's on her way. We just need to go outside and wait because we've been sitting at this table for a while and the manager's been walking back and forth looking at us like, come on. So we just got up and left because we were sitting at the table for like 20 minutes at that point after we finished eating. So we went outside back in the cold, and I hate the cold weather. We went back outside in the cold, waiting for this lady. We waited for this lady for like 30 minutes in the cold. It was like 2 o'clock in the morning, waiting for this lady to pick us up. So I'm just like, oh my God, she seems so cool in the car, telling us about her sexuality, telling us about how she turned into a lesbian and all this stuff, and she didn't come pick us up. She did not come. She never came. She probably came, but she came too late, you know? I'm just like, where is this lady? So I'm like, you're not doing your job right. I'm going to give you a bad rating. So I just told my friend Shanti, okay, just request another Uber. So she went to her Uber app. It said no Ubers available in sight. I'm like, what in sight? What? We're standing out here at the midnight diner, 2 o'clock in the morning, waiting in the cold, waiting. I'm just like, what? So at this point, we're freaking out. They're like, Deja, can you call your mom and pick us up? Because the other girl, her mom wasn't going to come. Ashanti's, the girl, her name wasn't Ashanti. Her name was like, I don't know her name, but I don't want to say her real name, you know? So the girl, she wasn't gonna come either. So, and my mom probably was asleep. I knew my mom was gonna come because she doesn't want me stranded like that. But I didn't want her fussing at me through the phone. So I'm just like, okay, we didn't know what to do. We were sitting there stranded, like we were kind of freaking out. So I'm like, girl, you just need to go ahead and get a cab, because there was cabs going back and forth, you know, but she said she didn't want to get a cab because cabs are expensive. And she was like, I don't want to get a cab, it's too expensive. I was like, girl, we have to get home, you know. We're teenagers. I'm 19. There's grown people around us. We got to get home, you know. And I was ready to go home. I was over at that point, to be honest. I was full. I was ready to go home. So we ended up just getting a cab, and by the time the cab dropped us off, I saw the price. It was $17, and I was like, I'm sorry, girl. She's like, it's fine, we had to get home, you know. I'm like, yeah, we had to get home, you know. So the cab drops us off. We get there, and she's just like, sorry guys, I'm sorry, this was like, you know, kind of a bad night. I was like, you know, it's fine, it's whatever. I was just ready to go home. So I called my mom to pick me up. She picks me up, I go home, and that was basically it, you know. I was just like, that was kind of, you know, a bust of a night. And I feel bad because it was on her birthday, because we didn't even get to go to the location we wanted to go to. We didn't even get to get in. We stood outside for half an hour waiting on 2 Ubers. We went and ate. That the other Uber abandoned us at the Midnight Diner, and we had to get a cab. It ended up being almost $20 for her. I felt bad, but I'm just like, it was kind of a bust of a night. It was, you know, it wasn't that great, to be honest. It was okay, but it wasn't as great as it could have been. And yeah, that was my first Uber experience, and it wasn't great. I think I'm gonna start using Lyft instead. Cause I don't, correct me if I'm wrong, but I don't know if Uber has a time. Like, they have a time where it's cut off, no more Uber drivers can come. I didn't know that. If it doesn't, I don't know. But I prefer Lyft because it gives you, I think it gives you your first 5 or 10 rides free or half off. But I feel like that's better. Yes. Yeah. So I'll see you guys in the next video. Thank you so much for watching, and hope you guys have a great Monday. Bye.